Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. It's not 8:30, but it is time for Tea and Wild Thoughts with your girl, the beauty influencer. That would be me. And this is 30 minutes of dialogue. A little off of my normal schedule. You know, we got to be fluid. We got to flow, okay? Good morning. Well, good afternoon. It is high noon. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining at this different time because my dad had a doctor's appointment this morning. I just had to adjust. Shouts out to all the people who care for other people, whether you are a mother, you are a caregiver, whatever it may be. Our lives are not always our own. So thank you. Thank you for coming through. Gonna do a little housekeeping real quick. Get the vibe right. Of course, you may be watching this at a later date and time. On YouTube. Sorry, I got a notification. That was a little strange. Maybe watching this at a later date and time on YouTube. Thank you. If you are, please like, share, subscribe. I love when I get text messages from my friends and from people who watch later on. It's so amazing. Anyway, yes, shout out to the caregivers is what Jesus wants us to do. Amen and amen again. In the information section below, you will find a link to my online store, my self-care store. Just like you saw me like that Palo Santo for the good energy. Here is one of my energy clearing kits. And it has your Palo Santo, some incense matches, the abalone shell, a roll-on of the spiritual blend oil, a sage smudge stick. You can't see it, it's stuck in there. And then this turns into what we call a saltwater cure, where it takes all the negative energy out of your space. So you would just fill it with water till about here. And yes, do that. And you just put it in your workspace, in your home, in an area that's not going to move. And it will take all the negative energy out. So all that you need for the good vibes. Yes, Black-owned businesses, Black Etsy shop. Okay. And you can also come and visit me at Essential Aesthetics and Laser in Charlotte. Good morning. Welcome. There I do all the beauty things that I do. Makeup, gua sha, massage, organic facials. I am learning to do laser hair removal. I'm so freaking excited about that. I'm excited. Where you see these little spots here on my chest right now, this is because I'm actually healing the dark spots and hyperpigmentation. You want a holiday package? I'm gonna just send some money, make me something with instructions though. I don't be knowing what to burn. I got you, friend. I got you. The new year is coming, y'all. I feel the shift. I don't know about y'all, but I feel this shift in the air that is really pushing us towards these. Just like, if you ready for the next level, it's time. This is your sign. This is your confirmation that the time is now, okay? And I'm really excited about the content that I'm going to be producing next year to really contribute to my store and just all the information that I want to share with everybody, especially about, again, the skin services and things that we have going on, the products, yeah. So with all that said, sign up for my email list. That is also at the link in my bio to my website, so you can stay updated. And I promise I'm gonna be sending out the emails. Okay, so that is the good housekeeping. Drinking a little tea, butterfly pea flower, I believe. All right, let's get on into this conversation. So you may have seen it floating around over the weekend. Dating consultant Kevin Samuels, was going in on this young lady. And he makes, I think one statement that stood out because I saw a lot of comments on this. He makes a statement about men not wanting 30-year-old baby mamas. welcome. And she, you know, it was, bear with me. If you all saw it, please, you know, go ahead. Let me know what you're thinking about it. It was a little hard to watch. She asked, you know, Kevin Samuel, clearly he does this all the time. You know, this is his style. This is the way that he, you know, delivers his info. He's a dating consultant. She asked, can he see her? And he asked, what would she rate herself in terms of her appearance? She says when she wakes up, she's a 5. And when she's put together, she's a 6. And it goes downhill from there. I definitely want to share, you know, how I feel. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this dialogue between the two of them. A lot of people didn't like, well, all the men that I sent it to felt like, oh, he was spot on, you know. She went on to say that she wanted a 6-figure guy. And he just gave her one of the harshest reality checks that I've ever seen in real time. So there's a lot of duality going on here for me. Hey, Grace. A lot of harsh truth or harsh perspective, should I say. You know, again, it was hard to watch. I don't think it was really a matter of whether his opinion was right or wrong. And these days, I think that we have to get less and less caught up in whether things are just right or wrong. I think that we have to start understanding that these perspectives exist. They are out here. There are people who feel this way. And, you know, it's up to us to develop that sense of self to the point where we don't internalize absolutely everything, which is why, again, when I saw a lot of people responding to the 30-year-old baby mama statements, you know, again, you can't internalize everybody's opinion. Though, you know, clearly his opinion was shared by a lot of men that I know. So we'll continue on into this. It was also a clear example of how much we romanticize things in life. Whether that is the approval of someone else, because this young lady did call in and, you know, she was asking his opinion and you know, of her and his advice on her life. You know, whether, so I was talking about romanticizing things, you know, whether we're romanticizing the type of people that we say we want to be in a relationship with, you know, her talking about the 6-figure guy, or just an inflated ego and sense of self in general. There's a lot of romanticizing, and I think that, again, we're living in a day and time where we are constantly faced with different realities. And as my Tracy, you know, we used to say all the time, perception is reality. You know, everybody's reality is a little different because it's based on their circumstances, their upbringing, you know, whatever goes in their bag. So sometimes, again, it is a little harsh to look out there and say, like, damn, that's a lot different than I thought it was, you know. So I think we're being forced, you know, to lose a little bit of this romanticism. And so this dating consultant talking to this young lady, you know, as my father was saying, I've shared this quite a few times in the past too, that it's hard for people to answer a question they've never asked themselves. And so he was asking her some questions and she was having to answer those in real time to herself. You know, she never even asked herself this question. You know, how she would rate her appearance. You know, the realities of, you know, her having a bigger pool of these men that she wanted, these 6-figure men. You know, it was a little painful to watch her ask herself some real questions. And so again, you know, we just have to be careful of putting our sense of self into the hands of someone else. You know, again, there's a lot of duality here. It's not about right or wrong for me. The last 2 years, I on this little talk that I do, I talk about patriarchy a lot. Not because it's very painful to watch, yes. I talk about patriarchy a lot, and not because, I'm so feminist, and it's a system that's out here that exists, okay? Like they said, it's a man's world. But, women do have to understand that it's nothing without a woman. And so his perspective, this Kevin Samuels, his perspective was really, really based in a lot of patriarchal mindset. And a lot of what he said was just the truth. Again, it was the truth in terms of the way a lot of men think that they, this woman being over 30, her already having children, and her appearance, being as what she called a 5, did not particularly put her in the market for this 6-figure man that she was saying that she wanted. Now, there's nothing wrong with this young lady saying what she wants and wanting what she wants. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What irked me, again, just her trying to take in, and he was saying, like, I'm giving you the advice, you're not listening, you're not taking in what I'm saying at all. Again, if you're going to put your sense of self in this man's hands, the least you can do is, you signed up for it, it was rough. So anyway, this man, he was saying that he that she just wasn't in the running. And so, again, there's a lot of guys out here who think this way. Let me go back to my notes real quick. So, he was even saying that, you want a man like me. And I guess this man makes 6 figures himself. She tried to kind of come back. A lot of times when we feel something and we feel insulted, we try to throw an insult back out. And she was saying that a lot of, younger women don't want older men. And he was like, I can't beat them off with a stick. The reality is that this type of guy, again, and that's why I talked about romanticism, this type of guy comes with a lot of stuff. A lot of, maybe the 6-figure guy is the guy that cheats on you all the time. Maybe the 6-figure guy has an attitude like his. Maybe the 6-figure guy is not really all that mentally and emotionally healthy. And so, again, that's one of the harsh realities of dealing with these things. There's nothing wrong with her wanting what she wants, but I think she needed to really get a harsh dose of understanding, and again, just not romanticizing what she thinks she wants. As he was giving her this truth, what I noticed about her as well is that she started getting on her phone, and as he was talking to her, she's just like I don't want to hear it. So what I will say, again, a lot of duality. It was harsh. It was hard to watch him talk to her like that. But as a beauty professional, and I'm going to just jump over the spectrum a little bit there. As I talk to women a lot about the realities of what they'll have to go through to get certain results when it comes to the beauty industry. Whether that is, you want your skin to be clear, or, you want your eyebrows to grow, or whatever it may be. We want to get rid of stretch marks. Women don't want to hear that. And she was a classic example. And he was saying, I'm trying to be polite to you, but you're saying that you're a 5, when you dress up, you've got on the lashes and the hair and again, there's nothing wrong with these things. But the reality is that who are you when you don't have those things? And regardless of who you think you are, and this is something that I, again, went through myself last year. I see myself a certain way. There's nothing wrong with the way that I see myself, but there are tons of people out here who don't see me the way that I do. And that's okay too. I always say acceptance is a tool, you know? And maybe, again, the 6-figure guy is the asshole. Maybe you want to get with somebody and reach 6 figures together. You know, maybe she hadn't even considered or thought of that, because the 6-figure guy is going to come with this attitude. You know, he feels like, or, I mean, you know, you have to become what you want. I agree. I believe that too. I believe that wholeheartedly. So that, you know, maybe it's gonna take, you know, losing some weight, or I don't know, girl, getting a whole surgery. Maybe you gotta get a nose job. Maybe you gotta. And I'm not saying that there was anything wrong with her. What I am saying though is when you understand what a certain whatever you're romanticizing, whatever you want, when you understand what it requires, it's going to require some shifting and some change on your part, if that's not already who you are. And clearly you're not, which is why that's not what you get. So that's just kind of what the brother was trying to say to her. You know, in the beauty industry, again, I just see it all the time. And what I was saying as well is, if we have this inflated ego, even if we have romanticized ourselves, and like she was saying, like, you should see my body. He was like, ma'am, that doesn't matter. You know, again, even myself, I've had to come to terms with, regardless of the way that I see myself, there's ways that other people see me. Meaning, I'm going to put it in plain English. Everybody ugly to somebody. Everybody ugly to somebody. I'm okay with being thick. I'm okay with being chocolate. I'm okay with the tattoos and everything that comes with that. You know, and so when I present myself to someone else and ask what their opinion is of me, you know, it's up to me and to how much I'm internalizing that. And so I always say, you know, we all need reality to slap us in the face sometimes. And sometimes what we want isn't even what we think it is. You ever had, like, and you feel free to answer this or whatever, answer it in your head, whatever, but you ever, like, looked at a picture, like, you be thinking, like, okay, you know, I'm cute, like, you know, I gained a few pounds, but, or these jeans don't fit the way they used to, but, you know, like, I'm cool. And then you look at a picture and you're like, okay, this is it. Like, I have to make a change. When she was, like, getting on that phone and just kind of not allowing what he was saying to penetrate, you know, a lot of us go into that kind of mode. You know, that's the make or break. Okay, I'm dealing with reality slapping me in the face right now, and either I have a choice to make a change, do something different so that I can get a different result, or I can get closer to what I want, or I don't know, because I've always been that person to make the change. That's just me personally. And not based off of what society is saying or what this man thinks, but okay, now I have a different ingredient. It tastes a little different. You know, I need to figure out how I like my food, basically. You know, so I don't know, y'all. It was there's another video that my friend sent me where he was talking to a man, and you know, so it isn't just, you know, he doesn't just talk to women like this. He asked the guy, like, do you have a big dick? And you know, he started talking about his appearance. He was like, look, you know, Basically, you chubby, you know. He's like, you know, if you have a big dick or not. Like, what are you bringing to the table? What do you have to offer? You know, it's really interesting to me how we, again, are in this technology revolution of being able to sit behind these computers or these, you know, devices and constantly compare ourselves. And when we don't have that human interaction, we miss the opportunity again for those reality checks. I think there's just too many of us kind of going into a space of just complete internal dialogue, and it's not always cohesive. You know what I mean? Like, again, these realities exist for other people. Their perspectives exist, and we can't just go. It's not natural to just, like, when you hear that, go into a space and try to just, like, find a group of people that just agree with what you say. That's not the way the world is. Before we had this technology, we worked around people, we dealt with men every day, would see them outside, you know, and everybody has always thought this way. We just weren't always aware of it, you know. And so, I don't know, it's just really interesting to me. It's actually very interesting to me. But I didn't think, overall, I thought the guy brought a lot of truth. I think that there were a lot of women who needed to hear that his perspective exists. I doubt this young lady thought that it was going to get as much attention, you know, as it did. Some people were responding to the post that I put up yesterday, and someone said, you know, I wonder what she's thinking now, you know, or if she was able to even take it in. And, you know, again, those type of things have the potential to really break someone's spirit. He did mention that she should go to therapy, which I am an advocate for. I don't think he knew her enough to, like, you know, make a serious judgment about her, but I think everybody should go to therapy. That's just my personal opinion. Because, again, we've all had experiences and traumas and things that make us who we are. And in this day and time, again, we're dealing with such a different bag, like, from freaking the pandemic, on top of generational trauma, on top of just freaking everything. I think it's good for everybody to have a professional to really bounce some things off of. Not that you have to that doesn't mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that we all got work to do and improvements, and we can all use better strategies all the time to get where we want to go. And so I don't think, you know, that it was terrible. It was, again, very, very hard to watch. But there was a lot of truth to the statements that he was saying, in terms of, again, just the fact that this perspective exists. A lot of men feel this way. A lot of women have this experience as well. It's just a reality of things. It's a lot of people's reality. And again, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have to mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean that, you know, average is the most terrible thing. It means that there's a lot more people in that position than we give credit for. You know, so there's tons of average men, you know, decent looking guys, decent looking women who need to be finding each other. And maybe sometimes we're not connecting because we have this inflated sense of what we think we want. Again, what we think we want, or what we think that is. And, you know, sometimes love is just right here. It's right here in your face. You could be experiencing it, enjoying it, We're doing the comparison thing, wanting all this stuff that we think is gonna make us happy when we could just genuinely be enjoying. And I think that's kind of what he was trying to get at too. Maybe there was a lot more content too, than what was shared. I'm sure there is, but it is what it is. It's her life. Again, all we can do is use these things as examples to reflect on our own and make better decisions all the time. Yeah. So, I'm going to share my wild thought of the day. I actually have two of them. One is, all that is explained is not understood. And what I mean by that is, again, even this guy, you're watching it in real time. He's explaining to this woman, again, ma'am, this six-figure guy perspective exists, and she clearly was not understanding what he was saying, no matter how much explanation, he gave to it. And so I definitely have learned myself that everybody ain't in the space to receive what you had to give. And that's just what it is. You need to find the people you vibe with. I have written right here too. We also have to become what we want so that we understand that vibration. Sometimes, again, a lot of people think entrepreneurship is one thing, but they've never been an entrepreneur, so you don't know that vibe. You don't know how those people think and how they move and what's happening. So the more that you become what you want, you will understand. You will understand for yourself. Once you making six figures, and you gonna understand why your dating pool is a lot smaller too. The other wild thought is, stop trying to make room for the fly-by-night shit and just make room for the things and people that make your life better. That's pretty simple. Again, this young lady, it's like you trying to make all this room for the six-figure guy, and how close is that? Not even the six figures is like all of that, but it's achievable, But I'm just saying, we're always trying to we're doing the comparison, and we want these things that we have idealized and romanticized. And if you are happy, with the simple things, just be happy. It's okay. It's okay that that your life doesn't look like a freaking board on Pinterest. If you have to, again, and that's why things like the therapy make a lot of sense, and why I encourage that and support that statement regardless of how rough it came across, because the more that you dig in and figure out what, I'm actually really cool with this, this is actually what I like, then you're not running around trying to be what society wants you to be. Based on your circumstances, on your life, on your experiences, that these are the things that speak to you and make you feel loved and make you feel supported. That don't always have to show up in a six-figure guy. Maybe you're five-figure. I don't know. Be happy. That's all I'm saying, people. Know yourself. And again, stop always reaching out to these people who, that's why I don't really pity her, because he was talking rough to people before she showed up. So she knew what she was getting into. Can't blame it on him. Can't really blame it on her. It was just hard to watch. Again, these things are happening. So, anywho, thank you again for showing up at this later date and time. I don't know. Maybe I will shift the time in the new year. We'll see what happens. But if you are watching on YouTube, I'm normally doing a live conversation at 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday mornings here on Instagram. You can follow my beauty influencer page. And again, like, share, and subscribe. Come see me at Essential as long as we can be open, because I don't know what's getting ready to happen with this shutting down again. Everybody be safe. Please be safe. Wear your damn mask, Wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize, be safe. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace.